And there we are. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the St. Patrick's Day edition of Draw 4, 12 o'clock draw. Today we have Team Konno out of the Granite Club in Seattle versus the Smith Rink out of the Denver Curling Club. So we're looking for a nice matchup today. The athletes look pretty loose. They're finishing up their slides. They're ready to go. So I'll ask my partner Chuck, what do you think?
This is the women's second time out on the ice here in Wausau. Probably learned a few things last night, and I think the game will be picked up pretty well today.
Yeah, I think you're right. It is a little colder outside, so I don't know how that will play into atmosphere in the in our giant curling center. Seemed to be a little bit trickier this morning for the men. At least a couple of them had a little trouble.
Didn't notice that. Looks like Smith won the last shot draw. And we'll be throwing the Yellowstones. Stone color is predetermined at this event, but hammer is decided by last shot draw. 2 shots by each team. 1 clockwise, 1 counterclockwise. Total distance from the pin. Least amount gets the hammer in the first end.
The winner for the first commenter on the chat is Deborah. She's watching from Grand Junction, Colorado.
Oh.
Welcome.
Welcome, Colorado. Mountain time.
We've got 14 watchers, so if it's anything like in the past, we'll start with like 10, and we'll end with 100.
Hope people can catch us in the noon break or have us alongside their desk at work. I'm not sure if this would be the best way to enjoy the event, but you could Bluetooth it to your speakers in the car, and then you just could hear Steve and I.
There'd be gaps and gaps of silence, followed by rapid fire talking, and maybe they'd figure it out, maybe they wouldn't.
Well, if you're addicted to curling, you'll listen.
You find a way.
Well, we got a couple of stones up in front of the house. A center guard by the red rink of Konno out of Granite, and a tight corner guard.
Sweeping this one right out of hand. Oh, now she's off. Cleaning. Paul's watching from Chicago. You're welcome for the coverage. We're glad to do it. You know, we're partnering with Wausau Area Access Media, the public access channel, and we had a partnership with them for a long time. They do our Badger State games and the high school state championships that we've hosted for seemingly forever. So we're happy to work with them again. We're just doing one stream of a sheet, but we will keep you updated across all the sheets, so you won't feel left out if you're watching and interested in a different team.
Smith Rink is working this stone up close to the house. Not sure if they want it on or they're looking for another guard. Looks like they're going to try to draw behind their guard. Nice little shot. Not completely buried, but I can picture the Konno Rink not chasing after that right away. And they are not. So both teams coming into the house here on the first end. Comes a little deep in the house and comes off their stone to settle in the back 12. Cynthia Smith from Denver looks like she wants to clear the top end here. She has hammer. Get those stones out of the way now. Opposing stones are all behind the tee line.
So these rocks are USCA rocks. They're the competition stones that the USCA brought in, and along with their caretaker Sean Olson, who brought a small crew and is working with the Wausau Curling Club crew for the ice this week. Fast ice and 7 feet of curl. So
In between games, I was talking to a couple curlers, and they said, those stones kind of move things around. I go, yeah, they're going to be a little more lively than your club stones as far as action in the house. Ray's takeout gets rid of the guard, but the Yellowstone still remains in the house for the Denver rink.
welcome from Wapaka.
Say hello to Benny Miller.
Ben is Chuck's son, goes out of Wapaka.
Both teams were anxious to come into the house, and now they're very comfortable removing those stones out of the house.
Funny how that works. There's always somebody who doesn't want the other team's rocks in the house.
So each team has 30 minutes of thinking time, one timeout, and we're playing 8 end games. Raise it back, catch a little bit of their stone on the way by, but does not remove it. So Konno still has 2 stones in the house, but Smith has shot rock.
So we know Colorado's watching. Is Seattle watching?
Seattle should be out of bed now.
Should be out of bed.
This morning, Alaska, who we covered, had an excuse at 8 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Alaska time. But Seattle should be up and moving.
Maybe it's a rainy, wet day and they just want to drink some coffee, watch some curling.
Rain and coffee in Seattle. Didn't know that.
In fish markets.
And dispensaries.
Yes. I guess, yeah. Oh, there we go. Daryl, representing Seattle. Holding up the fort in Seattle.
What kind of coffee you drinking this morning, Daryl, and what do you got in it?
Is it Irish coffee?
It is St. Patrick's Day, and I did see there was some Jameson at the bar here at the club, and there was a rumor that we might be delivered some during this draw.
You mean Pat didn't drink it all yet?
No, he did not.
He seemed really happy.
Pat is working in the bar this midday.
Pat Meyer, an Irishman.
And he spent 3 or 4 weeks in Ireland this October.
As did the 2 of us. Not that long.
I spent 2 nights.
I spent 10 days. Lucky Charms and milk. Nice. That's very Irish. And it's sunny and beautiful in Seattle. How about that?
Oh, lovely. The sun has come out in Wisconsin here now, but it is in the 20s, I believe. It's going to be a little bit blustery and windy.
Colder. I saw about 18.
18, and some flurries periodically. Well, the hit in the house game looks like it's going to continue here. 2 stones, kind of an angle. I'm not sure if she's going to go for both of them here, but
I don't know
That's
if
there.
those are the coaches behind the bench or the alternates, but they are putting the blankets on, heavy coats. They do sit there.
Team from San Francisco probably isn't quite comfortable this weather.
So yeah, skip stones.
Got one and
Ooh.
goes behind the second stone. But rolls over and stays on the house. Notice a lot of that. No one's been rolling off completely. It looks like they've hit, and
That back one looks
From
on from the straight shot, but I can't see on the overhead.
I believe it is on the house.
Okay. There we go. Yes, definitely on. Thanks, tech crew. Chris and Tim.
Veterans of curling coverage and curling for Tim.
You want to sweep? There we go.
Yeah, I think their goal is to sit two after this, have the house divided, and try to pick up their two. Well, this may be.
Oh, yeah.
They
look
jammed
at
on the
that.
stone in the back. I say I felt like I jinxed them because I said no one was rolling out. And they still did not roll out, jamming on that red stone on the back of the 12-foot. Two stones have rolled fairly close together. So the Konno rink may try to double these off.
Was it a jam or was it a nice double takeout?
It was almost a rollout,
But it didn't roll.
but it jammed. Six sheets are in play this afternoon, as it will be in all the round robin draws. Men and women each have two pools of 6, so 5 draws. Gently cleaning this stone. They seem to be happy with the line. Got one, got two, and it rolls, and it is off the house. So here comes the hammer. Looks like she might just put this through the house. Although, hard to judge weight here. Nope, that's going to go through the house.
Yep. So, opening in blank. Both teams now know the ice.
I think both teams got very comfortable with their room to place down for a hit. Sheet E, the Yapple rink out of Chicago and the Hamilton rink out of Madison have finished their first end, with the Hamilton rink out of Madison picking up a 1 and taking the early lead.
So we have our first overseas listener that we know of, Amsterdam.
Good evening.
Former Granite member, now living in Amsterdam, John. And we have New Jersey watching, interested obviously in Politano. Great game last night she had.
5 blanks in that game.
5 blanks. 3-1 win for Palatano.
She scored in 2 ends. That's all she needed. All right, lead Stones getting the second end started in our future game.
So Lisa must
We have some cheers from the local Wausau crowd. So Lisa landed in the Wausau rink, post rink. Looks like they scored 1 against the Ballman rink of Grand Forks. Both of those teams lost their game last night. So each team would be happy to get on the board with a win. In our future game, Konno rink out of Seattle lost their game last night, but the Smith rink out of Denver were winners. All right, 2 stones out in front of the house. Straddling the sweep line. Moving out of second stones here. Smith has 1 stone in the house, and assuming they're going to try to get around their guards, yes. And they should tuck in behind under the 4-foot.
keep tucked just a smidge, but nothing major.
Well, Smith now knows this is her opportunity that she can start removing stones, and she's going to do that. If she crosses over, should be able to spill both and the shooter off to the side. It's Miriam Johnston out of the Denver club. There's also a Johnston on the men's team. Not sure if there's any relationship there. I talked to Aaron last night. He didn't mention anything else about family member being here. Well, they remove one of the guards and probably open up the stone that's on the button on the 4-foot a little bit better. Looks like she wants to play towards her opponent's stone. As you can see in the overhead shot, the guard off the house is a little bit away from the stone in the house, and thinks she can draw around that. Oh, she's going to take the guard and do the run back, but she just misses. But she's replaced that stone with a stone of her color.
John in Amsterdam was a former teammate of Team Shoesmith.
Oh. He's got some vested interest in. Seattle Stone was open and removed. And the Denver Stone is now on 4 foot. And open and looking to be vulnerable. Teams continue to tend towards the hits here in this game so far. We do not have statisticians.
Are you not going to do percentages, Chuck?
I'm not going to do percentages, but I would tell you they've been quite accurate on their hits. Might get a little roll over here behind cover.
Yeah, nice shot.
I'll give her a 4.
Okay.
Cynthia Smith here really looks like she takes charge of the house. She kind of looks like she knows what she wants. She bodes confidence.
Well, and that's certainly what you want.
They did pick up a win last night. Women's second of their 5 round-robin draws that we're viewing. Yeah, she got the straight raise and stuffed the run back stone, but has changed the stone in front of the house to her color, which she very much can use later. Well, sheet 1, or end 1 is done on all the sheets. On sheet A, the Camerano, ranked from San Francisco, scored 1 against Houston. Looks like we got a nice draw coming in here.
Did we miss a rock here? That was
No, there was a run back there in the just the Reds.
no,
change.
wasn't that Konno's first skip rock?
Oh, I believe that was the third yet. On sheet 2, Ann Swisshelm from Detroit gave up 1 to Politano out of New York. Congratulations! Aaron Johnston just came over and informed me that that was his wife. I didn't want to be very presumptuous, but that's awesome. On sheet C, after 1, Walsh from San Francisco leads Kraus from Duluth by 1. And on sheet F, the Lander rink out of Wausau right here did pick up 1 to take the early lead over Bolin out of Grand Forks. Looks like they moved a guard around here on our feature sheet, Steve. First skip stone for the Konno rink. And just slides through the house.
So am I just not awake enough yet? But so Konno's throwing skip rocks, but does the Vice then call the house mostly? Because I seem to remember her in the house a lot.
Oh, calling the game.
Yeah.
She might be calling the game.
Aaron Grouse. Oops.
Oop.
Let's see what happens on this. Little
speed,
glitch on the
little
release.
speed check, but they're sweeping it hard. And now they're off the brooms. They might be right where they want to be. And they place their own stone in front of the house. Yeah, the third may be calling the house, because that does look like a familiar.
Miles skips and calls the game. She just is throwing third rocks. Sure. Okay.
Yes. I know. So this may not be Konno who's throwing. I've seen teams named various ways. Person who calls the house, the team is named after. One who throws forth stones, the team is named after.
Well, then I guess my Tuesday night men's team should be the O'Keefe rink.
Could be done that
I'll
way.
have to bring that up with Corey.
He calls house.
Yeah. I just throw what's called.
Well, it looks like Cynthia Smith from Denver is a traditional skip, calling house and throwing fourths. And she's in the hack for the hammer stone here in the second end.
Looking for a nice, easy takeout.
A little bit more controlled. The sweepers are liking what they see so far.
Just gotta move.
And roll over, and it's going to stick, and
Nice.
they're going to pick up the two. So the Colorado rink of Cynthia Smith has taken a lead here in the second end with a score of 2, and that is the score of the game too, 2-0. Sheet B is all tied up now at 1 apiece. The Swiss Ham rink out of Detroit has answered with 1.
Yeah, that could be a battle for first place in the pool. Those are two good teams.
Both teams winners last night.
Looks like a score's going up in the Hampton game. Looks like Yapel came back in the second, scored 3 to go ahead 3-1 over Hampton.
2 winners from last night also.
Gonna score up on the F sheet.
Lisa gave up 3.
So the Bowman rink out of North Dakota scored 3 to go up 3-1 over the Landon rink out of the Wausau club as a host berth team. And so that team was selected via a playoff that we had here at the club. 2 interested teams that wanted to participate. They played down. The winner got the berth.
This team has curled quite a bit extensively around the Midwest and the country and seniors.
Kim Susan would be one that would play with them too. But yeah, I mean the Badger and a lot of the USWCA circuit things.
They were in Ohio earlier this year, I know, and
they have fun together, that's for sure.
They do. They meet a lot of nice people on the road. So they might look familiar to you guys. We will have them in a feature game later in the event. Still lead Stones in the third end here of our future game. See the Smiths have a long, Smith rink has a long guard. Konno has gone behind, and now the Smith rink has slid one through the house.
Update on sheet A, Camarina versus Segovia.
Walsh game has concluded the second end, and that's another 2 points for the Walsh rink out of San Francisco. In here we have Mrs. Johnston throwing a stone.
You know, I was going to ask you if you knew she was a Mrs., but you actually do.
I do now know.
It's like, oh, that's pretty bold.
Aaron very proudly came over with a sign, "That is my wife."
That was not too long ago. So
he was very proud to have his wife out on the sheets and claim her.
Well, good for him.
It is great.
It's fun that they can do this together.
And both teams qualified. I'm not sure how Colorado and the Mid-America, that is, did their playdowns or selected their teams for the event, but it's kind of awesome. You play on your side, I'll play on my side. We'll be at the club all week.
Jim Force watching at home. Hey, Jim. Should be down here where all the action is.
He was here this morning, and he's handled all the PR for the event. And
yeah, doing an awesome job.
Every place I turn around, I hear about Club Nationals at the Wausau Curling Center.
It's all over the radio and the TV and the airwaves.
The interweaves, what do they call those things?
Interwebs.
Interwebs.
So Daryl wants to know a little bit of the differences between the national tournaments. And there's a lot of national competitions that USA Curling puts on. A lot of them are grassroots levels that don't go on to a world championship. This would be one of those. And some that do go on to world championships. So, you know, senior nationals, they were just held out in Seattle. So Phil, I think, is Phil out there, or did he move? Anyway, those go on to a national or a world championship. Club nationals, most regions have a playdown, and then the winner of that playdown would go off to the club nationals wherever that would be held. There's the 5 and under national Bonspiel national championship, a newer one since about 2018. Those are held via qualifying Bonspiels across the country. A lot of these also have a host berth that are attached to them, so an enticement for clubs to host a national championship.
And create a local buzz.
Create a buzz, get expertise. Wausau's benefiting from national level ice techs coming in and helping. So our ice techs get to work hand in hand with them and learn to help create better ice for our club. There's the junior championships, the U18 and the U21.
U21 goes on to a Worlds event.
Yeah, and they just finished finished in Fusen.
And then there's the men's and women who end up going to the Worlds, which I guess would be the pinnacle.
There's also the arena championship, the college curling national championship.
And there's mixed doubles, which has come on the scene in the last 4 to 5 years at the national level.
Yeah, and mixed nationals itself. I guess they call it mixed fours. I think that's what they call it now. That doesn't go on to a world, but that would be another grassroots level.
And then also there's the wheelchair team.
Definitely.
That is a selected team that competes at Worlds, and they just came back from, I want to say, British Columbia, Canada.
Yeah, Vancouver, I think.
And our team, our own Matt Toombs from our club, throws the 4th stones for that team. And I think they came up with a winning record and qualified for playoffs.
7-4.
And put a good showing on. So, a lot of different levels and aspects of curling.
Question is, if sheet B is the matchup of 2 top seeds, why not feature them? Well, theoretically, that would be a nice thing to do. We set our schedule ahead of the start of the event. Our goal was to feature as many unique matchups as possible to take advantage of all the people across the country who'd be interested in watching their team. So we just decided to stick with that, and we'll give updates as we see them.
12 teams and 5 round robin draws makes us come up short.
We'd hope that, that too. We can't actually show everyone, but we'd hope that those top teams, one of them at least, would make it to a playoff or a semifinal, and there they'd be on the stream. Phil is in Seattle still.
So I believe this is Konno in the hack now. Throwing the third stones for the San Francisco team, or excuse me, the Granite team out of Seattle.
Maybe Phil can help us, because we're both pronouncing it just a little differently, and I'd hate to get it wrong, but
Konno?
you're saying Ku, and I'm saying Khan.
I think it might be Ko.
We have that option too. Two ends make me think short O with vowel sound. Konno. Konno. That's the middle one that we, the one we didn't choose. Konno.
2 long O's. All right, back to our feature game. We've been talking about curling, and we got to get back to our game. Connie Smith is in the, or Cynthia Smith is in the hack for her first skip stone.
She's sitting in the house, but second count. Correct? Yeah.
Yep.
Looking to draw. I guess just into the 4-foot, huh?
Well, sweepers are on it.
Down 2.
She's calling rock pond cover with a little bit of backing.
She like that a little bit further, but yeah.
As you can see, they're still giving quite a bit of ice on a draw shot here. If you're watching from Wausau, yep, this is at the Wausau Curling Club, and that's the curl we have. Konno Rink is delivering their first skip stone. Coming down to her tapping the last stone thrown by the Smith rink. Little bump, and they're sitting one. From this angle, it looks like it could be somewhat pickable.
She's second guessing, I think. Or verifying.
I think she's going to come at this with gentle weight.
Right, I mean, you just, you knock red a little bit, yellow's just going to pretty much stay where it is. It should spill backwards a little bit. This is going to curl.
Is she by the guard?
No.
No. So that gives a chance for the Konno Rink to come right back and tie this up. By drawing to the 4 foot. Looks to be a pathway there. No way to remove another yellow stone and bring any of the other red stones into play that they can see. They probably can tap their red stone a little bit and roll to the center and not hurt themselves and still get their 2. So you say the pro side miss is heavy here, Steve?
Yep.
Yeah, coming short of the house, you do not score. Looks like she's got enough weight to get there. Sweepers are fairly happy with things. Gotta get by the guards.
Rub.
They can still make it.
Oh.
Oh, out of hand. It was a little bit light. If the sweepers would have jumped it at the beginning, I think they could have cleared that guard and got it to the house. But that's easy to say at this point. So the Konno Rink gets 1 back and now just trailed by 1 point, 2-1 after 3.
That's the only, well, on sheet.
She D.
Yeah.
The Walsh Rink from San Francisco Picked up 1 and now trail by 1, 2-1. Wait, no, sheet D is. No, I've checked that. Sheet
D is us.
Sheet D is the feature game. Sheet E is what we were looking at.
Yep.
The Yapple rink picked up a second point.
Yes.
To have 2.
Down 1 now.
Down 1 to Hamilton out of Madison.
Hampton, Mandy Hampton. And then our home team tied it up in the third, scored 2. So they're tied 3-3 versus the Bowman rink out of North Dakota. Grand Forks. They got their short sleeves off, or they got their short sleeves on. Arms exposed.
Mm-hmm.
Next update should be got 2 left. The desirable Politano Swiss helm.
And the Smith rink has come into the house to the wing.
Okay, so Swiss helm with a steal of 1 in the third. Now leads 2-1 over Politano. There was a lot of screaming going on that last shot. So 2-1 Swiss helm over Politano from Ardsley.
It's going to be 2 yellow on sheet C. And that's 2 more points for the Welsh rink out of San Francisco over Kraus. And they're going to open up a 5-0 lead.
Yes, sir. We're up to 60 viewers now, heading into the 4th end and the 4th end break. Let us know you're here. Welcome. Happy St. Patrick's Day from the 2023 USA Curling National Club National Champions. Hope you're having a great Friday.
I'm not sure if you know the rule on this. Is there, do you have to curl in a league in each club that's represented in the same club, or is there an import rule? My guess is they're allowed one
from somewhere else?
One from not from their club. I would assume they might have to still be in the region.
I don't know if I were to guess, I'd say you'd have to all be from the same club.
That could be.
We could find out, though.
Someone online is going to probably let us know.
Once in a while, we get the umpire walking by. Flag him down. You're not supposed to ask questions to us that we don't know. That makes us look bad.
I was just putting it out to the audience.
Okay. Yeah, it's like a trivia question. Audience, do you know?
We have 3 people with that answer, so we're going to assume it's right. It's plausible. Still on second stones in our feature game. You see a few guards short of the house on the right, and one lone Konno rock on the house.
Feels kind of like us. He's thinking that it's all from the same club, but he's not sure. But we'll get a definitive answer. Yeah, it just makes sense, I think, that they all should be from the same club.
This type of event, yes. Denver's second stone is approaching the near hog line. And he's going to remove one of the red stones. It looks like we have a little tit for tat here. I see Kim Susans is over here. After the fourth end break, we may chat with her. She's the Wausau Club president and co-chair of this event.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's pretty much doing it all.
She has to chair everything.
Yeah. You want to get her on now? All right. We we scored a personality to interview. And her husband's right behind us, going out on the ice. It's a great tandem we've got here with Kim and Pete Susans at the club. How are you doing?
Pretty well, thank you.
Yeah?
How about you?
It's Friday, right?
I think so.
St. Patrick's Day, you're wearing your green.
I am.
Yeah. Things are going great. Great curling action. A lot of people in the stands.
Yes, I'm so grateful that the public came out in not so nice weather.
Yeah, it was kind of nasty this morning.
Mm-hmm.
The rain turned to snow and ice, and we had some frosty roads. But yeah, you know, as days go on, we'll get more people in. You know, how about the volunteer effort to put this thing on?
Ooh, it takes a true village
A city,
to
maybe
make this
even.
happen.
Yeah.
For a city. We're so blessed to have wonderful volunteers within our club and in our community. And I am so happy that people have just shown up. And what can I do?
Right.
What can I do to help?
Yeah. They hear the buzz, they want to be part of it.
Exactly.
And who wouldn't want to be part of a national championship?
Exactly.
Yeah. You know, as a club, we benefit so much when we host a national championship. You know, we got, mentioned it before, we got Sean Olson here helping out our ice techs while he gives the competitors, you know, championship level ice and curling stones.
Yes, indeed.
We've got, I've seen them all since we've started streaming, but Dean Gemmel was over there, the interim CEO of USA Curling, doing his work from a table here at the club. Craig Perry, event manager, helping him out.
And I'm so grateful for their help. They've been marvelous to work with.
What would you say to a club that hasn't hosted a national championship and kind of wants to, but is maybe like intimidated by it?
I would say that while it is a little scary to think of putting yourself out there for those kinds of things, I would say just go for it. Have faith that your community will help you, that your club volunteers will help, and you can even reach out in your community for additional help. The financial piece of it is probably the scariest, but
Yeah, I
it's,
mean, the board
it's
will say,
very
well, we don't
doable.
want to lose any money.
Exactly.
Yeah, well,
Exactly.
you know, it takes work, obviously. We've worked hard to make sure that we don't lose money.
Exactly. We have secured a lot of corporate sponsorship and a lot of individual sponsorships and
Volunteer time,
volunteer time and
materials.
all good.
Yeah.
A lot of restaurants have just said, "Oh yes, we'll help." One of the gifts that we were able to provide to our athletes were Scoopy tokens from Culver's.
Oh, that's where that
Yes, the
came from,
generosity
okay.
of Culver's. Indeed.
Culver's is a well, they're stretching across the U.S. now, but they started in Wisconsin. Craig Culver and his family, and I'll put Culver's up against In-N-Out Burger any day.
And their ice cream.
Oh yeah, well it's custard.
Custard.
There's a difference.
It's true. Today for our lunch, as an example, we have the North Central Technical College Culinary Club who made lunch for us.
I was kind of shocked. I came into the club room before I jumped on the stream, and I was looking around talking to Pat Meyer and his Irish outfit, and glanced over in the kitchen. I was like, what's going on in the kitchen? Because it looked very professional.
Yes, yes, they are. And they are future chefs in the making,
Yeah.
right here in our little kitchen. And they made, we were speaking of custard, they made delicious ice cream and gelato. So they
Nice.
actually made custard and gelato for us for
Beautiful.
lunch. Yes.
Was it green?
No, no green today. I think we all we were so busy preparing for this event that we kind of forgot that it was St. Patrick's Day during the event.
Not me.
I did manage green. And it is a lovely day for a Guinness.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, how do you watch a game and just talk like this?
Well, it all starts by watching the game and then talking. That's really, it's how we do it. It's complex.
I just want to watch the game.
I know you do. I know. If you want to leave us, you can.
It's fine. It's fine. I'll hang out for a bit.
Let's finish the skip stones with us here. So Konno finished her first skip stone, and Smith is coming back with hers. Smith has the hammer. There's a lot of red in the house.
There is. Is this the
Yep, that's
sheet?
the same one.
Okay.
And then this right there too.
Just getting oriented.
Yep.
So 4 reds in the house.
Yep.
And here comes first stone from the Smith team.
So Cynthia Smith's. They want to touch it.
They like it so far. Now
No.
they're sweeping.
Yeah, it's gonna. It's
Little,
not what they wanted.
little bump on the.
But it's usable, unless it's taken out.
And it doesn't look like they're discussing that takeout.
Nope. All right. So this is
Draw or a guard?
this is Erin Grouse's shot. She throws the skip stones. Konno calls the house and throws thirds. So Grouse with her last shot. I'd say probably looking for some type of way to close a path to that 4 foot. sweeping right away. So is it too light? It's very light. Well, no, it's not.
Looks like it's going to be a great guard.
Yeah, tap up.
Little tap.
Yeah, that is a great
That's
shot.
beautiful.
That really puts pressure. What do you do there? Yeah, Kim, what do you do there?
I typically throw lead stones in competition.
Oh, you like to just,
I do guards.
yeah. The most underrated position in curling is lead. Everyone thinks, the new curlers are like, oh, just throwing up these guards all the time. But you know what? If you don't have them, it really messes your end up. So if you have new curlers, make sure they know the importance of playing lead.
Looks like they're just going to try to draw down into the 4-foot perhaps
Cut them down.
to cut it down.
Yeah.
That one's pretty unreachable to my eyes. Possibility of a small tick, but you probably lose your shooter.
Yeah, Phil's commenting about our discussion about clubs hosting a national championship. We'll watch Cynthia's shot here, but comment after. All right, delicate touch here. Needs to pull all her draw weight out of her pocket. This one looks. Oh, coming out of the house to sweep. It's never a good sign. But it looks like they're going to be
good.
fine.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Great
Good
shot.
Good shot. So it cuts Konno down to 1. At the 4th end break, it is tied 2-2. So yeah, Seattle, that's where Phil's from. He said they actually made money, and yeah, I mean we're going to make money too because we worked hard. And I think Phil would agree that you have to work hard when you're hosting a national championship. This is the bar's a little higher, right? It's not a Bonspiel, it's a national championship. Expectations are higher among club members and competitors, so you got to put your boots on and go do the work. Tony came through with us. Tony, oh, there we are live. Tony came through. He's from the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. Congratulations on the dedicated ice, Tony. He actually pulled out the rule book in addition to the USA Curling membership requirements. In Section 2, all team members must be a dues-paying, league-playing member of the same USA Curling member club. So thanks, Tony. Oh, Chris is sending me texts. We have to figure that out, I guess. That was a half hour ago. Sorry,
Oops.
Chris. Nancy Mall, lead yellow. No. Renee Sobering. What should be lead. So yeah, what would you like to say, Kim?
If I get to thank people, do I get to thank
Yeah,
people?
you can do whatever you want. Here we go. Thank some people.
We have had amazing corporate sponsorship from not only Crystal Finishing as our presenting sponsor, but Baird and sorry, Samuels Group, UMR, and Reuter Ware for some of our corporate sponsorships, some of our larger corporate sponsors.
Midwest Wisconsin Beverage. We have Pepsi right behind us.
We do.
Wolf family is a longtime curling supporters, and George and Estelle Wolf led the way. So yeah, there we go.
There it is. Ron and Jan Klimisch.
Charitable fund for helping with the stream. Yeah. We had a great committee that worked hard on going into the community, and April Rosemaker, a big part of that.
Along with Sarah Worth.
Jim Force, Scott Campbell, Scott Gorix. Yeah.
Samantha Diedrich. Everybody pitching in, doing a little bit, makes a big impact.
So when are you, so I'm wearing my green Stormy Chromer for St. Patrick's Day. You need to get a green Stormy Chromer, I guess.
I do not own one. You are correct. Next trip up to Ironwood.
There you go. I think I'll, next time I talk to Gina, I'm going to say, how about some more custom options, like maybe seasonal things. Here's a Christmas Stormy, here's a St. Patrick's Day Stormy. If you wear Stormy Chromers, you know what we're talking about because you have more than one. And if you don't, you need to get your first one. Another sponsor, I saw them in here too.
Yes, they are.
Wausau Mine Company.
Wausau Mine Company. Sit down, have a little chat with Virgil at the Wausau Mine Company. They are also curlers.
Yeah, that helps.
They understand ice.
I actually got, not directly, but kind of directly. So, so in Vancouver, when the Vancouver Olympics were going on, at the old club we had a 2-day open house. That's when we were at the old fairgrounds next to the hockey rink, and hockey was having a tournament. And these guys come in, Jeff Siegel, Dan Wage. Hey, what's going on? It's like, well, we got to learn to curl, and you can have some, there's some beer over there. It's like, oh, all right, we'll stay. They learned how to curl. They get their wives involved, and that's how we created the Sunday League. Because they came in on a Sunday, and Dan's like, well, this day works great for us. We didn't have a league. We tried some Packer leagues and stuff, but never worked. So that was the nucleus of the Sunday League.
And we were fortunate enough to be a part of that.
You were like a charter member of the Sunday League too.
Yes, indeed.
Of course, your husband is very well known in the hockey world.
Our Wausau team is playing on the sheet right in front of us. While not part of the featured game, it's part of our attention span.
Well put. I should let you just go enjoy that because there's not a lot of time to just sit and enjoy stuff. So.
Thank you. I shall do that.
Yeah.
Thanks
for
so
sitting
much
in.
for having me on.
Yeah.
Take care, everybody. Have
Thanks,
fun.
Kim.
That was Kim Susan, president of the Wausau Curling Center. She's not going to go take a break right now. I'm sure she's got some other thing she needs to go do. But nice she could step in and commentary a little bit and give a little background on the event and what it takes. And
from a club president perspective, let's do a quick across the sheet update. Sheet A, Camarina versus Segovia from the Houston Curling Club. It appears that is a 6-2 game. with Camarina taking the lead. But in the fourth end, Segovia came on the board with a 2. And the Politano Swiss Helm game.
All tied up at 2.
All tied up. Yep, all tied up. Ones across the board.
The Walsh rink has pulled a little bit ahead of the Kraus rink on sheet C. 5-2 after 4.
Our sheet is tied up, and then the Yapel and Hamilton matchup. There's people in our way, but it looks
it's
like
4-2.
Yeah, 4-2
with Hamilton.
4-2 Yapel.
Oh. And Bowman out of Grand Forks is 5-3 over the Landon rink,
Yeah,
the lowest team out of Wausau.
Broke the tie in the fourth end with a 2.
In our game, you can see is tied up at 2-2 on the second stones.
See what we missed on the chat. Eric Mall here from Colorado. Nancy's lead today. Previous national squash championship at a great skier. So is that correct on our
Roster?
No, it's not correct on the roster. So that's why Chris texted me. It is Nancy Mall playing lead. Chris or Phil being very helpful and open with his comments on national championships.
Konno rink has a couple stones in play. One short of the house and one in the back 12.
Lori from Granite is watching and supporting. Go Team Konno and Shoesmith. So thanks everybody. We're up 66 people watching. Let us know where you're coming from, where you're watching. The winner so far is Amsterdam.
Smith's stone is coming down. Look like they're going to try to draw in behind the guard stone. Looks like about T-line weight.
Some nice uniforms that the Denver women have.
I like that, Colorado.
I don't know if the flower is a state flower or one that they just particularly like. Maybe it's just a design, I'm not sure, but it's nice looking. Looks like a pansy with some type of special petals on it. Roshold. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's probably Potato Boy again.
Yep, yep. Oh, that reminds me. I have to tell Mike that I met a guy who knows him. Potato farmer.
I believe the potatoes at the event probably were supplied by Mike. He supplies potatoes to most of our events.
I was up at Pickrell for the St. Patrick's Day Parade, where we had it was my college guys' weekend, and we put a float in their parade. And so the bar that we were at, the guy at the bar is like, "Why are you guys doing this?" Because we were going all out. We were giving away drinks and launching ham stacker sandwiches into the crowd. It's like, well, why not? And somehow, I don't know, I think the person he was with mentioned that where he was from and what he did. He said, a potato farmer. Well, do you know blah, blah, blah? Yep. Well, then do you know Mike Carter? Yep.
Smith still goes wide, and the infamous Tuck, who used to do the
Wayne Tuck?
He used to do the
Not
an
Wayne Tuck.
article in the curling news. I can't remember what it was called, from Tuck's perspective or something of that nature. Tucker. He was from the Dakotas.
Oh, yes, Tucker. Yeah.
Broadcasted all the junior games for a number of years. Also a potato man who knew our potato man also.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, they're buddies.
Oh, nice. It's Colorado State flower. It's a columbine. What's a columbine? You know, I forgot his name, Mike. Sorry.
And Mike Carter, if you got your ears on, what was Tucker's first name? Or is Tucker his first name?
I'll know it when I hear it.
We all will. Good guy.
Ben.
Ben, yeah.
Yeah, he was a good, I liked him as an announcer.
He was a fabulous announcer. And also into potatoes.
So Smith Rink Vice last throw, which would be Denna Rosenberry.
Coming around the guards.
And coming
We're going
across
to
the
get a
face.
piece of the button and, yeah, sit and shot rock.
Now we're down to skip stones.
We believe this is Aaron Grouse who throws those stones.
Correct.
Looks like they're set up to come down on top of those.
Down the stretch it comes. Is it too heavy?
No, she's got to tap weight.
Will she catch it?
She's going to take that out. Gently takes the yellow over and then rolls off to the side. We got a measurement on sheet F, the Bowman and Landon rink. I'm not sure if it is for the first point or the second point, or even more.
So it's
But
yellow.
It is yellow, which is the Landon rink out of Wausau. And when they hang it, we'll let you know how many points that's worth. Landon rink was down 2. And it looks like they just get the one that they was measured for. So your Landon rink is now down 1 to the Bowman rink out of Grand Forks.
Oh, update on sheet A. That would be the Camarina and Segovia, with Camarina scoring 3 more in the 5th to now lead 9-2 over Segovia in the Houston Curling Club. And they're both huddled as teams on the side.
That score ends up being a final with that kind of an outcome. Both teams will be 1-1 after this game. In our rink, the Smith rink is going to come down and try to sit on top of the other stone for a second count. Come up a little bit short.
They hung one on, hung a point on E in the Hampton game. Hampton came back with a single, down 4-3 now to Yapel.
It's kind of a border battle there. Chicago and Madison A little less than 2 hours apart from each other, or a little more than 2 hours.
They're measuring on the Napolitano game.
Last shot for the Konno rink coming down. I think they opted to draw around and try to catch a piece of the button. Maybe push that Yellowstone back a bit. Weight looks close. Gonna get by the guard, a little tick. Get down, push it a bit, but probably not quite enough. Looks like yellow might be sitting 1, and Smith is thinking, how can we get 2 out of this?
So they switched from the measure to the biter bar.
Interesting. Both implements?
Yeah. I'm not sure if the measure was used. No, it's not in. And that would have been a Napolitano stone. So we'll see what the score is.
Official has to return the biter bar, so it'll be a moment before we get that point hung. Or points. Smith rink is coming down with some weight here. I think they're just throwing this away. They looked at the situation on the house and didn't see anything that they felt really comfortable about. So, for it looks, they'll take their 1 and give up the hammer, but take the lead.
Four one-point games out there right now.
Okay, so Smith expanded on their lead. Now 4-2. Or 3-2.
3-2. Yep.
3-2.
Yep.
Boy, they got
Still
that point. They got that point hung quick. Yeah.
Okay, so Napolitano scored a sole point to go up 3-2 after 5. So apparently the biter bar measure would have been for another one, but it was not to be.
So they must have had 2 close ones. 3 close ones. On sheet C, the Walsh rink added another point from San Francisco and go up 6-2 over Kraus from Duluth.
Wonder if the Kraus rink checked in with their House of Hearts friends. A lot of curling action and fun and charitable fundraising going on up there this weekend in a big snowstorm. I think they're supposed to get 20 inches of snow. 83 watchers. Welcome to the 2023 USA Curling Club National Championships from the Wausau Curling Center here in Wausau, Wisconsin. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you all. I'm Steve O'Keefe, and Chuck Miller is to my left.
Glad to have you all here.
Chuck's play-by-play announcing. And the color man.
Lead stones here in the 6th end. Smith stone has the stone on the top, or the 12-foot, and Konno has now came into the 8-foot. Looks like Smith is going to remove that stone, or try to.
Howdy from Adamsville, Ohio. Sounds like a great place. We have an 8-sheet curling rink, and our town has about 40,000 people. We're right in the smack dab center of Wisconsin.
If you're old enough, you may remember Wausau Insurance ads being very prominently featured on the 60 Minutes show in the 1970s.
The old train depot. And that funky kind of music that went with it.
And mispronunciation.
Warsaw.
Konno rink has now 2 stones in the house. And Smith again is going to go after them, it looks like. She hits this right, she should be able to get rid of both stones and retain her shooter. Got one stuffed it. Konno stone stays on the house. That looks like Konno rink wants to go across the house and remove one of the Smith stones from the 12-foot.
What if potato sales go up this time of year?
Cabbage does.
Cabbage, corned beef.
And traditionally, I think there's some potatoes there. That shot sailed a little bit wide, so the house remains looking the same. And Smith continues to work on the left side of the rink, sheet as you see it from this view.
Just rub.
There's a couple though on sheet F, the lead rink.
All right. Nice takeout.
All right. Konno now has no stones in the house.
And Smith has 3. Without hammer. So we'll see how Konno plays this.
Again, I think with an upweight shot, she can get rid of both of those stones. Don't think she can get them both and roll to the center to get on the house.
No, I think you're right.
Got one, touch them both, sweeping the wrong stone, but they're going to be okay. Gets it off the house. So, successfully remove both stones, leaving a lone Smith stone in the 12-foot. Smith does not have hammer, and it looks like she chose to group her stones or draw over behind her other stone. Sweepers are helping a little bit, but they don't seem too anxious. Good picture of that Colorado State flower there.
Columbine.
So they group their stones here. Chance for the Konno rink to double them off. And I believe this time they could stick around on the house. A lot of things have to go right there to have that happen, but I think she can do it.
Mike indicates that the red potatoes do spike this time of year.
I would picture that. In the club room over lunch, they were having a corned beef brisket prepared by the culinary department at the local technical college. A lot of white, looked like a chef's show on TV.
It did.
Yeah.
Like one of those game shows where they eliminate people.
Reality shows.
Yell at them and scream at them.
Okay, move one stone and rolled over. Looks like Smith again wants to remove the opponent's stone. Again, they're just kind of watching it, maybe help it over a little. Looks like they're pretty happy with what they've got. Gonna hit on the outside and stick around. So they've split the house fairly wide apart and fairly flat. There's been a color change on sheet F, the Landon Bowman game. When I looked up before, there were 2 yellow stones in the 4-foot. Now there are 2 red stones, and the Landon rink is going to call a timeout.
Often catches the timers off guard, especially if they're new timers.
Most of the teams here are self-coached. There are a few that have brought coaches and alternates. I think she's planning on playing down to the Smith stone that's on the edge of the 4-foot. Going to get a little bit of a bump and roll to the center. Lost her backing a little bit and bumped into the open. And it doesn't take long for Cynthia Smith to line that one up.
Definite disparity in time.
Figure 3 to 3.5 minutes an end of thinking time. So both teams should be in good shape.
All things considered, yeah.
After the shot, Smith may have 3 stones in the house, but she does not have the all-important hammer. And front house is open, so Konno should certainly at least have a shot for 1. And that would tie the game up.
Well, they're on and then they're off. Now they're way off.
Gonna move it over a little bit. A little carving.
Nose.
Pretty much nose hit. Looks like they may want to remove that stone and roll over in front of the Smith stone in the 8-foot.
Definitely looking like a force, though.
Yeah. Going to be tough to roll on top of the stone and be count, I believe. Wherever it ends up, if it's in the house, I picture Smith going after it. Shots. You can see it coming down the center line. He's starting to move already. So nose hit and roll over. And yeah, so since it's moved to 3rd count, Smith is going to opt not to go after it. And place the stone on the top of the 4-foot, making the Konno draw a little bit more difficult. And potentially, if there's a hit, that they would not be shot rock.
And that's the key part there. You know, you place that just in the right spot, and then the nose hit doesn't do you any good if the other 2 yellows are going to outcount you.
So she does not want to be on the 4-foot here. Let's say short of that.
So, an update on sheet B. The Swiss Elm Napolitano game is tied back up, with Napolitano coming back with a point in the 6th end. So it is 3-3 after 6.
All ones in that game.
All ones.
This weight looks like it's pretty close. Is it going to slide too deep? Sweeper is gesturing that it should slow down and stop, which it has. So the hit,
Might want
does
to
not
just
look
go a little bit deeper, but
well, she'll have a draw around to the 4-foot, but it's against 3, which always makes you a little bit antsy. So having the 3rd count in there is very important, and taking a little bit of the 4-foot away. Just stones around make you think, and sometimes you push it wide because you see that stone on the center line. Oh, she's thinking about hit and roll.
well, that's what I was thinking too. I was looking at that.
I was thinking about that before that stone came in, that they would possibly prefer a hit. Earlier in the game, they were trading hits fairly regularly. And she has the her stone over there. If her stone would over curl, she's got a good chance to roll off of that one too. So after the skip has made her choice, I'm in full agreement, and I think Steve kind of was already thinking about that way beforehand.
Well, I was looking at the other side, and I thought, well, that's maybe a little longer roll than maybe they're comfortable with. And I looked at the left side, and I thought that would be the one to play, I guess, if they wanted to hit.
Yep, and she's got the yellow stone to come off of too if she needs to. So hopefully roll on for her point. Stone is on the way.
It's moving.
One sweeper trying to hold the line a little bit.
It's moving.
She's
moving.
really yelling hard.
Can she
Can
do
they
it?
Can they hold it? Got it. And
And sit. Can it stay?
Oh, cut.
Oh.
They removed one stone, so it'll be a steal of 2 for the Smith rink out of Denver. And that brings them to 5 points versus the 2 points for the Konno rink out of Seattle.
I guess in my mind, they actually needed to let that curl a little more.
Yeah, I think they were. Or was she carving it over?
Well, she was on. She would have been on the. She would have been on the wrong side to do that, I think.
We're gonna go with this. She was trying to curve it over.
We don't do that in leagues.
Oh, we try.
I mean, we always do that. That's what we do.
The main purpose of that is so you can just have one sweeper. Save yourself.
Then
In our league.
The other sweeper just feels helpless, sitting there, wanting to sweep.
Timers feel there's plenty of weight on this stone.
So what other scores can we update?
Well, that was the 6th then that's finished. So on sheet F, after Landon called the timeout, she still gave up 3 points and is now falling behind 8-4 to the bowling rink from Grand Forks. And they are in, all these teams are now in the 7th end, these games.
If we did a Yapel Hampton, but Hampton went ahead in the 6th. So she leads 5-4 now over Yapel from the Chicago Curling Club. So 1 point game there, playing the 7th end. Sheet A, the Camarina and Segovia game. Camarina Segovia came back in the 6th end with 2. Still down 9-4.
know if you did the Kraus. Walsh.
Nope.
Walsh added 1 point to the lead, so they now have 7-2 over at the Kraus rink from Duluth.
Sean's not very sneaky.
On our break in between games, Steve went out and got some green and white cookies and a little Guinness advertising product.
That was a gift. That brought that from home. It's a lovely day for Guinness. A little toucan statue about to drink his pint of Guinness. Try to festive up the place a little bit.
So you were dissing the Guinness tour. I
Yep.
did see a lot of advertising
Oh yeah.
that I did not recall, but then kind of brought back memories.
Well, Guinness, I mean, I'll hand it to Guinness. Their marketing is superb, on point. Love the old toucan. Lovely day for a Guinness. I could really go for a Guinness. Maybe we should go somewhere between
Don't have to twist my arm very hard.
Did I say that out loud?
I don't believe there are any establishments open on St. Patrick's Day in Wausau.
We do have those crazy rules.
There's a little place called Limericks downtown.
It sounds apropos.
Um,
Time out here.
my wife and I had lunch there for the very first time a couple weeks ago. Pleasant little place.
Oh, that place. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They have a bar dog.
I haven't been in there. I've been in there once.
They have a bar dog. Very nice.
Okay. Might be busy today, I'm
Could-
guessing.
Could be busy today.
Chat's been quiet. You know, if you're joining us, we're up close to 100, almost touching 100 people, so welcome. You know, we're playing the 7th end of this close game, one of the closer ones. Separated by 3 points.
So Smith does not have a hammer. She's sitting 2. But
She's worried about that rock, I guess. You're up 3.
she's talking to the official. I'm not sure what the concern would be there.
I don't know.
At this point of the game,
They keep gesturing straight up and down.
there's no tick issue. There's no.
Oh, this is,
Okay.
well, so the official's just hanging out to make sure that it ends when it's supposed to end.
What they're chatting with the official too.
No, that's her coach.
Who also is playing.
So I don't know if they want to just try to. That's a risky shot to just push that red through the house.
Yeah, there's a chance of touching either of the yellow stones there. But they feel like it's a threatening stone. They can corner freeze it and kind of angle it to someplace not proper.
You could throw soft and push red off to the right and split your yellow on.
Well,
You
with
got something under cover on the left side.
with the broom placement, it looks like they'll be throwing a T-line weight or so. They might be coming
Definitely not what I called.
around. They heard you and
Yeah.
decided
like,
that's not the
you
direction
know,
they want to go.
Steve wants this, so we.
Not the direction we want to go. Kind of interesting calling a timeout on the seconds first stone.
Right.
This stone seems to really be curling also, and because it's a little bit light, they would have liked 10 more feet on that, and that curl would have been perfect to come right in behind.
Oh, now it's interesting, isn't it? I don't know if you.
Yeah, on the overhead view, you can see that is teed up pretty good to
Yeah.
get a piece of the stone on the forefoot.
But there's a little guard hanging out there, isn't there?
I never quite understood the drag effect, so maybe that would come into play.
I'll explain it over Guinness.
Oh, speaking of that, no one has seemed to bring us any Jameson for this draw.
No, you're right. This draw's almost over.
All right, so we'll see what they've decided to do here. We're going to tap and jiggle up the yellow-red combination. The stone looks like it might be light. You'll see when it starts to move that much, you think, boy, it must be light. But this is going to carry to the house. Oh, not light at all. Just took off.
She kicks that one out. Gets ready for her shot.
That stone coming down even surprised us keen eyes.
Well, I didn't notice slow, but I did see movement fast.
Yeah, and I saw that movement. I thought it must be slowing down.
Nice delivery. Well, they want to go. This is assuming this is going to be a guard.
Cross things up a little bit. They could still get to the nose or the right of that yellow anytime they want to, but it looks like they're going to shoot directly at the Smith stone that's in the forefoot.
You know, you give up one here, you're down. You're still up two with the hammer.
In the eighth.
In the eighth.
This stone looks like it's moving a bit too. This track really seems to want to curl. Jiggle things around in the front of house.
That spins on for probably a biter.
Smith is sitting two here. There's still thirds and fourth stones to go in this end, so there's quite a bit of end yet to play. But she's either thinking about a guard or putting more in the house.
Mike Carter's been really quiet. A lot of times I wonder what Mike Carter would do in shots like this.
Mike Carter's probably going to go home and tap trees and make maple syrup this.
It's too cold.
It'll get above. It was above freezing yesterday.
It's all wonky. There's Keith again. How you doing, Keith?
But in between gathering buckets of sap, we've asked him to come down and be a celebrity commentator on Saturday.
Keith. Hey, Keith.
Tomorrow I have a trip to the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Yeah, we're going to miss you tomorrow.
You might, but the spectators will enjoy the break. Oh, and here's Chris Horick.
He's sporting the Irishness.
The Chatterbox. One of my favorite places for a fish fry.
An Irishman is never drunk, oh yeah, as long as he can hold on to a blade of grass and keep from falling off the face of the earth.
Sounds about right. Chatterbox is also famous for their Friday night old fashions.
Old fashions, fish
two-
fried, cheeseburgers.
Two for $5. I don't believe they're sponsors,
Not yet, I guess.
but here they are.
But getting free plug.
Free plug to the.
Maybe we should walk in there and say, hey, we just talked you up to 90 people on our live stream.
We could play it back for them.
3 of them were from Wausau.
In my house, I have a bar chip from the Chatterbox that is probably about 8 years old, 9 years old.
Was it when we went out with Ryan, when we took Ryan out that night?
No. Long story, which I'm not going to go into, but it has not been used, and I have been back a number of times. Chris Horick, coach, tuck curler extraordinaire, has come up to our booth.
Harassing us.
Probably in my second or third year of curling, which would be still in the 1990s. Chris got everybody in the rookie league a pin with their name on it. I still am strutting it. Yeah. I seem to misplace my other fancy pins with my
Easily
name on
done. I used to have ones that I made up names.
it. We will not. Steve put us into a bonspiel once with made-up names.
Don't accuse me of stuff like that.
That may have been Scott Burton, another local curling celebrity from the past.
Yeah, blast from the past.
All right, so we've got the third's last stone coming in from the Konno rink.
And you know you're a famous curler if you actually have a shot named after you, and Burton has a shot named after him.
Looks like this might slide through. Oh, I'm going to get a piece of it, but roll off. What shot would Burton have named after him, and
It
can you
would be
describe that?
a Burton guard. So you call a guard when Scott's throwing, it's going to be on the tee line all the time. Burton guard.
I'm not sure if that was named after his father, too.
Oh, it could have been. Father was a curler.
Never met his father.
Cut from the same cloth, I think.
A rather large one. Oh,
Whoa.
he's a handsome man. Scott has a young family.
I wonder what D. Jensen that could be. Talking about brandy old fashions, and yes, only. Well, I shouldn't say only. There are people who like the whiskey. I prefer traditional brandy. One of the people who help consume like 90% of the world's brandy or something. Some crazy statistic like that. I think that gets exaggerated a little.
I think it's probably around 70. 90% of Corbel gets drank in Wisconsin. 80%, something.
Something.
Someone out there with a computer could probably look that stat up for us, too.
How are you doing, D?
All right, Smith Rink is throwing more pressure. A lot of stones in play there, as you can see.
Yes, there's definitely a lot of stones. And 3 of them are counting yellow.
So there is kind of a draw path to the button if you can get around that top yellow stone.
Yeah, I think it's definitely there.
I think it's definitely there.
And with backing, I mean,
You throw T-line weight and you're gonna be buried.
you'd like to not use the backing, just
Mm-hmm.
nice pure shot.
Konno could do that twice in a row.
But
All the aspects of the shot need to be there.
she's looking, she'd like to score 2 with a hammer, but I don't see how that's going to happen.
Talking to some of the teams in between games, they said if you throw a light handle, it'll really move.
Well, you,
They might be on the guard here. Nope, they've cleared the guard. How's their weight? A little heavy. They might need to use your backers, Steve, which they are. I didn't see where the roll went,
it didn't. I think it was
It
nose
did.
hit.
but that's tappable for their next shot if the guard is not placed in the right spot. I'm sorry, Steve, you're...
I didn't,
Oh,
what?
we're talking about handles, I think.
Oh.
I've been known to lose my handle a few times.
Do you have a CB handle?
No, and I try not to fly off it. This is our 4th draw that Steve and I have been doing.
I think we're getting better.
Now the comments are going to come. Cynthia
I gotta
Smith.
stir the
with
pot
her-
a little bit.
Cynthia Smith with her last stone. Thinking she just wants to put up a guard. She'd be more than happy to steal one and come home with a hammer up 4. If this is not properly placed, there's a nice chance for 2 for Konno. And it looks like it may be over curling also.
It's a little higher than she wanted, but it's they get a little chip off there.
Yeah, she narrowed things up a bit. Very hard to make your shooter count here. Well, yeah. Looking at the stone just to the right of the center line. The other side kind of got cut off. Bring this back, and this actually could be a shot for 2, because you do have an angle on the yellow stone in the back of the forefoot. Coming around the other way would be a difficult shot for 1.
A lot of granite sitting right there.
It's kind of scary when you look at it with this angle. That yellow stone really doesn't come into play. If you fit that yellow stone, you had already missed the shot. So psychologically, you just got to feel like there's one stone out there by itself, and you need to angle raise it to that yellow stone and take your 2. And they're playing the inside out. Well, there's a long, yeah.
They're
Where
going to
there's
angle raise that red, right?
Yep, but from this angle you can see there's a long, longer red that would be on the path with the other turn. From this shot you don't see that, so it looks like why would they do this turn? But on the other angle you can see that longer guard on the other path from the other turn. That angle there. Thanks, guys. And if this curls the way it's supposed to, it's the same deal. Yellow stone doesn't come into play.
Well, Mike's pushing off his.
Whoa!
Ooh, didn't look like she hit the stone.
She's smiling. That's always good, even though she might have a little pain on her bottom.
At least the ego.
Other sweepers keep going.
Oh,
Catch the guard.
Oh.
Knock one up. Knock one up.
Oh.
And it remains the steal of 1 for the Smith rig. That's going to put them up 6-2. Hope her curler is okay. I assume she's psychologically more bothered by the fall.
So let's do a few updates. Looks like on sheet 1, after 7, we're doing Camarina and Segovia. Segovia scored 1 in the 7th.
And no surprise, on sheet B, the Palatino and Swiss Ham rank blanked the 7th end, so it remains tied at 3.
Well, you're just jumping ahead because I didn't finish sheet B yet, or A.
Oh, I thought you were done with A.
No, I just said that Camarina scored 1, but it's still down 9-5 now, playing the 8th end. And yeah, you were exactly right about Napolitano and Swiss Helm. Blanking the 7th end, so
The hammer is yellow, which is Swiss Helm.
but
Palatano scored in the 6th.
yes, you're right. So yeah, Ann has the hammer in the 8th end, tied.
On sheet 6, or on sheet C,
Yep.
we got the Kraus rink from Duluth and Walsh from San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And Walsh has spread that out a little bit from a 9-2. And I believe they have shook on that sheet. Moving to sheet D, that's the game that we are in.
And then if we look
Taylor
at
Smith.
E,
Future
the
game.
border battle between Chicago Curling Club and
Ooh.
Madison Curling Club. All knotted up.
Hampton has the hammer going into the 8th.
She likes that position. Oh, closing the gap on sheet F.
Lisa Vanderrink out of Wausau right here. Picked up a couple in the 7th. And are now only down by 2. But
Without hammer.
without hammer in the 8th end coming home.
Well, good.
It looks like our sheet is going to continue on playing. At least throw up a few stones and see if they can generate some offense. 4 points is not a number that is impossible.
It's a big number, but it's not impossible. You're right.
I think 3 is the highest I've seen on the on either side in the event so far.
I think you're right. Well, no, I think there was a 3 and then a 4.
So this is where that no-tick rule comes into play most prominently. The Konno rink would like to put this stone on the center line, and the Smith rink will not be allowed to move that at all, even off the center line. They just got to get over the hog line.
Didn't Ann score 3 and 4 last night?
3 in and
3 and a 4.
possibly. Well, they put up a corner guard, so the no-tick rule does not come into play with that. Nancy may be throwing the stone through the house. Denver does not really want any stones in play, anything for them to come behind, freeze upon.
Red Stones have 3 minutes and 10 seconds left.
And I assume they have a timeout yet also.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if they took.
I believe Smith took their timeout. I believe there's plenty of time for both anyhow. Trying to throw up another guard. Something to come behind and generate some offense. We have a double guard over here on the left side. This is Smith's second first stone, so with the 5 stone free guard rule that went into effect a few years ago. Those 2 stones cannot be removed yet at this point. So Smith will again just throw away their stones, so there's nothing for the Konno ring to use. But I expect on the next Smith stone that some of those red stones will be sought after. Konno's going to need a few misses. Guiding the stone in behind those guards that were placed over on the left bed lead. Looks like that's going to finish behind just fine.
Another ice tech just showed up. Mitch Mertens from Bedford.
And as anticipated, Smith the rink is going to start running these guards. And she peels off the top one. Shooter rolls off. Konno chooses to stay on the same side. Sweepers are letting it settle in. Looks like it might roll out the open.
Yeah, little rub.
Smith may choose to take the stone that's in the house. Yep. She'd probably be happy to roll off again here too.
So 116 now, finishing up our 8th ends.
Well, welcome to you latecomers, or some of you may have joined us earlier than came back.
We're in draw 4 of the women's games.
Draw 2 of the women's games, draw 4 of the event.
That's what I meant.
All right, that worked out pretty good. She moved 2 stones around. There are now 2 stones in the house. but both of those are going to be open. Did she call a draw shot?
She was just tapping, yeah.
Yeah. I thought they would probably hit something, run them out of stones. But they're curlers.
Well,
Oh.
what would they hit?
Oh, sorry. I was thinking Smith was calling the shot. Okay.
You're forgiven.
Well, the previous shot things got moved around, and Steve, do you have an update on sheet F?
Yeah, I could do a quick update on sheet F. The Landon rink from Wausau. They scored 2 in the 8th to tie it up. Now going to extra ends. So that's pretty exciting for the Wausau locals here.
Man. I thought at one point they were virgin in handshakes, and they have battled back, and obviously they can steal.
Yeah, so Bowman and Landon will play an extra end.
All right, anticipated here, the Smith rink is going to try to start to remove redstones. Since it is now their shot, and they can do that on their shot.
So, what am I seeing on, is that Ann's last shot? Let's see what happens. They're shaking hands.
Let's be 3-1.
Yeah.
It is red.
It is red.
That is the
So Ann,
Palatano.
yeah, you're right. They stole.
So the Palatano rink remains unbeaten with a 4-3 win over the Ann Swisshelm rink out of Detroit, and they will fall to 1-1.
That's a big win for Palatano. Very big win. Young team.
Puts her in the driver's seat. She's had a couple tight games, but came on top in both of them. All right. So 2 stones in the rack. Yeah, for Konno to throw, and 2 stones in the house. So they are not out of stones yet. Cynthia Smith on her first stone, trying to ice the game for the rink out of Denver. Sweepers are on it. Now they must be pretty close. They're now up. And clearly removes that stone. And there we have handshakes.
Handshakes.
Okay. All right, so
good game. Good game between Konno from Seattle and Cynthia Smith from the Denver Curling Club.
Cynthia Smith is also 2-0. She's not in the same pool as Palatano, I assume. Yeah. Probably are.
Smith is in the A bracket. Palatano is not in the A bracket. She's in the B bracket. So Swisshelm and Palatano are in the B bracket. So Palatano's win is pretty big. You know, on sheet E, they're down to what, 2 or 1 stone left here in the tie game. It looks like the Hampton rink is trying to figure out what to do here.
2 stones are on the button of that game. Oh, thank you guys upstairs for showing that house.
So remember, Mandy has the hammer.
Our tech guys are fabulous.
And
They
who looks
understand.
count?
That's
Yellow?
really close.
It is close.
I'm not going to try to. I'm not going to try to
And
judge
what can you
it.
get to? Because there's nothing. There's one guard out that you can't see on your screen, just off the center line on the be the left side looking out. No, the right side looking out.
So how many stones are left there?
This should be the hammer if
Just
I'm
the one.
seeing right. So
And we also get a little action from the sheet F.
I
The
think
extra.
you can curl down and tap red. Or hit yellow and move red. And here comes her shot.
This is the Hampton rink on sheet E.
Got some weight behind it. They're not touching it. Still not
Sweepers are
touching
not
it.
touching it, but they don't look anxious.
They're waiting. What's happening?
Must be very close. They're hitting yellow. Yellow into,
Oh, they both move.
and yellow stays on for at
Yeah.
least one.
Yeah, just
So they-
enough. That's all they
So
need.
the Hampton rink picks up their second win out of Madison, and the Yapple rink drops to 1-1.
And then the last game that's playing now is the extra end.
That's the Landon rink, the host rink out of Wausau, and the Bowman rink out of Grand Forks. Both these teams are looking for their first win. These are still second stones.
Yep. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, finishing up second stones. So, yeah, Lisa, without hammer, is looking to steal her way to victory. And, you know, she's got one in there. Undercover on the 4-foot.
Going to put up a guard and try to bring that yellow stone home. She has Terry Gleason to deliver it. They do have one long guard. And it looks like they're going to put another guard over on the other side of the center line.
Watch out for that rock. Val.
Yeah, that's going to protect that. The team from North Dakota is always going to have a shot. They have an angle raise over on the left or something, but they're going to try to make it as difficult as possible for them. This young lady delivering stone stopped and talked to me for a while before she went on the ice. Seemed to be enjoying her time here in Wausau.
Well, I certainly hope so. You know, we try to put on the best hospitality we can, and we hope that we give the competitors everything that they need to go out and compete, but also have a little fun while they're here.
Lisa's trying to jiggle those two stones around in front.
Lisa with the old school broom placement. Broom pad down.
Terry Gleason with her delivery. Sweepers are just watching it at this point. We'll see how she rearranges the furniture here.
Now they're on it hard.
Hmm.
And,
Yeah.
no, yeah.
They've come down to the 4-foot. Two stones on the top of the 4-foot. May leave a flat double.
Yeah.
Chris, you think the flat double is there?
With the weight.
You think the... Oh, so there is not a flat double there? There is a guard out front of the house kind of covering the flat double.
Oh, sure.
Each team, I assume, gets a timeout in the extra end, and I believe the North Dakota team has taken advantage of that at this point.
So if you're just joining us, we're in extra coverage. We have an extra end going on. Lisa Landon Rink, the Wausau host birth team, versus the Beth Bowman team from Grand Forks Curling Club. It's all tied at 8. And Lisa Landon is trying to steal her way to victory, or Beth Bowman is just trying to score a point with the hammer. However you want to look at it.
5 more stones in this end, so you Wausau people, you can let your friends know that we've switched to this game. They may want to rearrange the furniture in the front of the house.
Might want to either make a call or...
They did have a coach that came out, correct?
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I can't see how much time they have left.
Okay. Oh, down there, sure.
4 minutes. The timeout is running out. Each team has about 2.5 minutes left. They probably get 4 minutes for the extra end, Chris? Jaster's going to get in the hack here for North Dakota. She's coming a little late. She's going to try to rearrange something. Moves some stone around. Landon does remain shot rock, but may open things up a little bit more. Landon Rink is down to their skip stones, so they really only have 2 stones remaining. And they've made a decision what they want to do. I think they're going to try to bring that yellow stone home, Steve, that they have in the house.
Well, with that broom.
You Green Bay curlers may recognize Lisa. She curled out of Green Bay probably 8 out of the last 10 years. Sue Gold and Val Gorks on the brooms.
So she's on the guard.
Nuzzle this stone in. Split things up a little bit.
Not sure that's.
May have improved the position a little bit. And they're looking at this angle raise at this point. Or maybe remove the yellow stones at this point. There's no guard in front of that run back.
No. Nope.
Run back double looks very, very makeable.
I would agree.
Depending on when the stones end up, it might leave a opportunity for Lisa Landon to still get into the house behind something.
Here it comes.
So far, they're happy with the line. Sweepers have not touched it. Here they go. Boom, boom, and they push it wide.
Well.
They've left themselves a red-red combination on the other side as a last shot, but the Landon rink needs a cover shot stone and make them work a little bit harder. Shot stone is now open.
Well, I mean, you're going for a win here, so.
Mm-hmm. If this shot is made, that'll leave the red tap back to the other red, or if they are wide, they can just draw around to the 4-foot. I say just, but
So Lisa's throwing
That's
some
a
weight
shot.
here.
she is. She's come with more weight than I expected.
What is she doing?
Well, she might think about hitting her yellow stones and splitting one over in front of one side and one over in front of the other side. That would be a very precise shot, but it looks like she's just playing over curled, and hopefully she does not tap that up. She's over curled.
Uh-oh. So now that's wide open.
So it looks like just a hit for the win. Fighting back and having a chance.
Well, they're all laughing in the house, so that's hopefully that's a good thing, and they're all having a good time.
This North Dakota team seems like they're fun. They're here to enjoy curling. Like everybody, they want to win, but they want to enjoy the event.
Well, and this will be a first win for one of these teams. And right now it looks like Beth Bowman has the shot to make. Is she narrow?
I thought she was narrow to begin with, but now she's going down the sweep line pretty straight. Sweepers are holding it. Sweepers are holding it. And they drive that through.
Oh, yeah. Nice shot.
And score 4 more for the rink.
Handshakes. So the Beth Bowman rink out of Grand Forks comes away with their first victory.
And the host team, after a heroic battle to come back,
Right.
just came up a little bit short.
Well, good for them, though.
Very good. They're having a good time out here, too. So after bonus coverage, we should probably sign off and wait for you guys to come back and see us again at the next draw at 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock next draw, and we will be featuring quickly. Yeah, we're featuring Turner Columbus Curling Club and Tate from the Coyotes Curling Club. So that'll be 4 o'clock. Yes, we are. Thanks, Judy. We'll get to that in a second. For now, thank you for tuning in to the 2023 USA Curling Club National Championships. From Wausau, Wisconsin, I'm Steve O'Keefe.
And I'm Chuck Miller. We'll see you in a few hours.
Bye.
Bye-bye.